Hey everybody, I'm Philip.
And I'm Justin.
And together, we are Pajamas. And we are on episode 12 of season 3 of Doctor Who. And the last one, the first of the two-parter, I'm thinking, two-parter, maybe, it might be a three-parter, who knows. But in the first one, the last one, episode 11, we found out Captain Jack is immortal. Found out the Legend of Rose just won't die. We found out there is a second Time Lord.
Yana.
Wow. Just wow. In real time, that was like 10 minutes ago. We usually take long breaks until let the house cool down. I'm going to throw the graphic up now. It is very warm. It's still summer. It sucks. Can stop anytime now. But we are so eager to watch the next one that we had a very short cooling the apartment down break, like 5 minutes long. Yeah, I'm anxious to see what happens.
So am I.
So, without further ado, let's get it. Oh, he had his thing.
Travel out of capsule, that's a killer.
Forgot about that.
His face, voice, body, everything. New man.
Morse code?
We missed the election. But it can't
Saxon.
be. I said I knew that voice. When he spoke inside the TARDIS, I've heard that voice hundreds of times. We all
He's
have.
Saxon.
That was the
Wow. We're not even like 5 minutes in it. It's like, holy shit. That's Saxon. Saxon is a fucking Time Lord. Wow.
Letitia Jones.
Tish. Well then, Tish,
Isn't that Martha's sister?
you just
Think
stand
so.
there, one and all. You ugly, fat-faced bunch of wet, sniveling traitors. Because of the gas. What gas?
I mean, he'd call himself the Master.
That's all you need to know. Come on, show me.
An hour to myself, it's been a hell of a day.
Oh, strike while the iron's hot. That's what I say, Lucy. I can call you Lucy, can't I?
No.
Got plenty of research on you. There's good family, Rodine, not especially bright.
When he was stealing the TARDIS, the only thing I could do was fuse the coordinates. I locked them permanently.
That's what I thought.
You can only travel.
He knows about me. What about my family?
Don't tell them anything!
I'll do what I like. Tell them! Tess! It's your fault. It's all your fault. I was helping you.
As you chose yours. The man who makes people better. How sanctimonious is that? Tell me, how did that feel?
Stop it!
You must have been like God.
I've been alone. Don't you see? All we've got is each other.
Are you asking me out on a date?
We can stop this right now. We can leave this. 8 years old, staring at the raw power of time and space, just a child. And some would go mad. There it is. That rhythm is everywhere. Ticking away in the subconscious. It's like when you fancy someone and they don't even know you exist. That's what it's like.
God.
So America is completely in charge.
Since Britain elected an ass, yes.
Can the US ever let the UK have at least some time in the spotlight?
Yep.
Anything I can do, I could make the tea, or isn't that American enough? I don't know, I could make grits. Whatever grits, anyway.
If you could just sit.
Is this what I think it is? It's a paradox machine. If I can get this around the master's neck. Cancel out perception, they'll see him for real. It's just...
I'm taking control, Uncle Sam. Laser screwdriver. Who'd have Sonic? And the good thing, Professor Lazarus. Remember him and his genetic manipulation device? If only I had the doctor's biological code. Wait a minute. I do! I've got his hand!
Oh, snap.
Remove 1/10 of the population.
And I looked down upon my new dominion, and I thought it good.
For the first time, we have a 3-part story.
Yeah, I think I said something to that effect in the last one, that this might be a part 2 or part 3. But yeah.
What gains, though, does he get from this?
I don't know. Other than, I guess, the ego of being the master of Earth, which so many have tried to do before. But now he has, like, totally not Daleks in sphere form at his disposal. And when he said it would break your heart, I'm like, is it Dalek technology?
It's something that did come to my mind.
Because that would crush the Doctor to know that he's using the technology from the race that destroyed them, you know, for Time Lordian advantage, as far as we know, and to take over the Earth. I was like, where to begin with this one? This was we finally found out who Saxon is. They've been hinting at it for a while now, longer than we've realized, apparently, if the comments section is anything to go by. And all of the vote Saxon things that I've seen. So I've been told a few times that's been brought up. So it's been foreshadowed. Just not as heavy-handed as Bad Wolf. Like, I know he's not going to win, obviously. So I'm a little... not disappointed. I like the way it's playing out. I like that there's someone that the Doctor just can't smarmily, just like cockily overtake in some way, because he's met an equal, a fellow Time Lord, who is possibly using Dalek technology, who repurposed Lazarus's machine into his sonic laser. And I think just the little tidbits of he kept the Doctor's hand, like all these little beats were put in place.
Yes.
In the last episode, I talked about how Russell T Davies did a good job of planting seeds in the last one, and then that's what happened here. And that has been a strength of the series. It does a good job at calling back on previous things. You know, they referenced the spaceship, they referenced the Cybermen, they referenced the Spider Queen ladies ship.
The Star.
So, calling back on that. So, it's not disappointment that I'm feeling. It's extreme heat, because it's very hot. So I'm trying to keep my train of thought. Again, this is my fault. This is what I did in season 1, when I built up Bad Wolf a little too much. You know, I was trying to figure out what this agency was. Is it some kind of covert government thing? And I wanted it to be a task force, like an anti-Doctor task force, to keep him in line, to keep him in check. It just ends up being the group of the, you know, main villain, which I said earlier, you know, this has to be building towards the climax of the season, and here we are. So I don't mind it, but it would have been cool to have like a Torchwood, but not for the Doctor. Like the Archangel Network could have been to keep track of the Doctor, to keep him in check, keep him in place. So I don't dislike the way they went. It's very, very fascinating to think about. I love me a good villain.
Interestingly enough, his carefree demeanor actually shows that he is completely under control.
Oh yeah, he's like this is gonna piss some people off. He's like an authentic Doctor, because the Doctor is cocky and arrogant and confident and snarky, but plays the good guy. This guy is cocky and arrogant and confident and snarky, but owns up to being the villain. He's reveling in being the villain.
Like Moriarty?
Yeah, it just has that, you know, hubris. It almost feels like maybe inherently the Time Lords are arrogant, self-serving people, but maybe the Doctor's tried to, maybe him being the last Time Lord humbled him. from what he was or what he could have been. You know, when you lose your entire race of people, it's going to sober you, you know.
A very traumatic.
Yeah, it's going to be
thing.
sobering. Yeah. We also got to see Gallifrey for the first time in visual form. I don't understand why they had an 8-year-old look into the time vortex. Like, what was I think I just kind of missed the. Because was that just like they just chose him to do that, or was he like a special child and so they did that, or did they do it to all 8-year-olds and then he just happened to go insane? So if we don't find out more in the next episode, if you can clarify it for me in the comments below, that would be cool. As spoiler free as possible. If it was explained and I just missed it, let me know. Because it just seemed to be like he was an 8-year-old kid who was brought to this Stargate looking thing, and little tiny Stargate, and looked into it and saw the time vortex and lost his mind and then ran and turned himself to a human. Unless it's explained in the next episode or in a future season, or if they call back to this in a certain way, just let me know that. Just say it'll be explained in the future. Don't tell me what season, please. More lore will be divulged in the future. Just be patient, and I will. I have no problem waiting. I would rather wait and be surprised than be spoiled and know it's coming. I like the idea of him using a huge like internet network to control people.
Yes, since practically everyone has a mobile device.
I mean, there's always been that joke that one person controls the internet. And we had that in season 1 with the guy that collected all the alien technology.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he owned the internet. And then Rose was like, I think Rose said, like, you know, no one owns the internet. And he's like, oh, that's what we want you to think. So we've had that happen before. But I do like the idea, because there's always been like that conspiracy theory that one person owns the internet and they're using it for nefarious means, as a means of mind control and all that. So, you know, here we are. You know, Saxon is putting subliminal messages about Saxon. Oh, he's good, etc., etc.
No one could say exactly what his platform was.
Yeah, exactly. Just that they liked him. Yeah. A true cult of personality, one might say. You brought this up. I mentioned it. Can America, like, just...
The UK is an equal member of the Security Council as the US is.
Not according to America. Because America, the propaganda state that we live in, it's not a country, it's a propaganda state. I do like that they said that Saxon had invited the president. I'm like, yeah, funny how we always get invited places, isn't it? I could go on a rant about that, but I won't. It was a little annoying to see America have to... But then it was satisfying to see the... hypothetically see the president get, you know, taken down a peg. Forever. We're just so arrogant. Like, I just...
It's something that I did find very curious. They're both in the UN. In fact, not only in there, they're both members of the Security Council. So these are actually equal countries.
And even if the UN was like, hey, we need to step in, we need to stop this, does it have to be America that does it? Does it have to, like, can it be anyone else? Maybe somebody on that side of the world?
The European Union is only across the English Channel, so it wouldn't have to go through the expenses of traveling all the way across an ocean.
There's no expense for freedom from America. There's literally not. We live in the military-industrial complex. We spend trillions of dollars on planes that explode that could end world hunger. Anyway.
Back to science fiction.
Well, yeah, so Saxon's grand plan is to open up the Earth and let 6 billion totally not Dalek spheres in and to coal 1/10 of civilization on Earth. Martha teleports out. Interesting that Saxon knew they were there the entire time.
He's under complete control. He doesn't care that they're there. He knows that he can thwart whatever plan they have.
At first, yeah. And this is because at first, when they were watching the TV and he said something about a medical student, and the doctor just immediately somehow knew to turn the TV around, there's a bomb on the back of it.
Yes, that seemed a bit too... It seemed too convenient that he would do that, because one would think that instead, when he would say that, one would wonder, what does he mean by that? But no, there's no time for that, because...
There's a bomb on the back of the TV. Somehow that the doctor knew was there. I would have just been like, oh, he's talking about you. boom, we would have died. We would have died because I wouldn't have known to turn the TV around. Because at first I was like, why even say it? Just let them explode. Then as I saw it progress, he doesn't want them to. He doesn't want them to die. He wants them to know he's in control. He wants them to know that he is, he's the master chess player right now.
The hubris.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not only consuming him; he is hubris itself.
Yeah, he's pretty much walking hubris at this point. Like even his wife, who I assume is a regular human lady, is enamored with him. But I do like the idea that he's so. He's like playing with his food, pretty much, like playing with his prey, king of the jungle, and swatting it around a little bit instead of just eating it outright. I like it. I like me a good villain. I think he's a good villain.
And he turned the TARDIS into a paradox machine.
Yes, that is. I assume the Doctor is going to reverse it, and then somehow send a signal out, and just all the he's gonna hack into the network somehow, and it's gonna turn all of the totally not Dalek spheres off. They're probably just gonna go clink to the ground. I would say he might turn them around on Saxon, but I think 6 billion of them attacking one Time Lord is a little overkill. I think he's just gonna turn them off. I mentioned earlier, calling back to the Lazarus thing was just very clever. That's what I like, that he didn't kill any of them or even try, because he wants to flaunt himself. Like he knows that Captain Jack can't die. He's playing like psychological warfare with Martha. By the way, can I just give a huge shout out to the actress that plays Martha's mom? She does such a good job. I noticed this while editing previous episodes. And, because when I edit, I go very slow through the episode, scrubbing through it, trying to find, parts that I want to put in, or the BBC will let me put in. Even when she's just like a voice on the phone or a voice on the machine, she does such a good job at emoting. There's one where she goes, just like, Martha, please. He's dangerous. Just the way she says the word please. Just the despair in there. I want to give a shout out to her because I think she's a fantastic actress. I mean, they all obviously do a good job, but I think she does a really good job at acting like a mom, being emoting and being protective and all that stuff. And thus far, she's right. But it's interesting to think about how far back we go with Saxon's plan. This isn't even that far back in his plan. If you look at it, the people that were planting the ideas in Martha's mom's head was Saxon. So they were like playing her against the Doctor as the bad guy. So then it was just like it's like a mastermind thing. He's playing chess, And I like that. Not only was he manipulating the situation, he was doing it in like a way that it was like, okay, I'm gonna move you here. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna put them here. They're gonna come here. I'm gonna do this and then this and this and just. And to think all this may not have happened if Rose did not bring Captain Jack back to life, because the TARDIS would never have run away from him to the end of the universe, where a Time Lord was dormant.
You really don't like Rose.
No, I'm not saying it's a negative thing. No. I'm not saying it's a negative anti-Rose thing. I'm not saying like, oh, Rose, it's Rose's fault this happened. I'm saying, holy crap, this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the Rose that should be focused on. It's the Captain Jack part that should be focused on. It has nothing to do with me not liking Rose. I don't, but that's nothing to do with it. I just find it fascinating that moment is what precipitated all this like domino effect. It's like all the way down.
How the story is interconnected.
Yeah, exactly. Like how the seed was planted. Like again, I talk about the seeds with RTD. Fantastic at doing that. Fantastic at planting a seed. And some of them are planted so far into the ground they take a while to sprout. And this one took from, way back then all the way to now. So if you just rewind all the events that happened, it all goes back to Captain Jack getting killed by the Dalek. And then Rose becoming like, Super Saiyan and bringing it back to life. That freaked the TARDIS out. TARDIS is like, nope. And ran as far away as it could to the end of the universe, where there just happened to be a dormant Time Lord who was woken back up because of interactions with the Doctor and Martha. Rewind all of that. If this event didn't happen, these events don't happen. That's good writing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good writing. Really good writing. I am so sweaty. It is so gross. You want to go to my notes?
Yes.
All right.
Philip's notes.
Well, first of all, the opener had me holy crap. When we found out that's Saxon, I was like, that's Saxon. Holy crap. Wow. More wows. I did think it was kind of funny. Well, yeah, more than one. That the press lady got that comedic death. She's like, ah, ah, ah.
I was wondering what that was about.
Like I said, he's reveling in just how good he is and how much control he's in, how powerful he is. No one can stop him right now. Like we said, hubris, and it is what it is. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It is exactly that. But just to do that was just so, it was silly, but it fits his character at the same time, so it didn't feel out of place. Then we got the Tokophanes, the totally not Dalek spheres, which apparently is a fairy tale that they tell kids on Gallifrey. And then when the people were shooting at Martha in the car, I thought, imagine being the mom and dad watching your daughter being shot at. She's driving away and you're being loaded into a van.
Very traumatic.
Saxon, man. Like, I shouldn't like villains as much as I do, but I do. Mad respect for Saxon right now. Like, he even put the doctor in his place. Like, you know what? I'm tired of your crap. 100 years. Ha. Now what are you going to do? Stand there and look sad.
Does this mean that he'll have to regenerate? Maybe have a new body?
Ooh. I didn't think of that. I assume he would just reverse the polarity of the Sonic's laser and it'll reverse the thing and I'll go back to being handsome David Tennant again. Good job on the makeup, by the way. Really good job on the makeup. Usually it's just like, oh, we're going to paint some lines on your face. You look freaking old. I wrote America's upset with Great Britain because of course we are. Of course we are. Adopt us, please. I like the scene where the doctor finds out about Torchwood and how mad he is for good reason, which was started by Queen Victoria in order to keep an eye on the doctor.
Yes.
And then it was disbanded and remade to help the doctor.
He still doesn't like it.
Well, he's okay with it now since Captain Jack said that he made it for him. So they just need to get a room already and then let me film it. And then the doctor says to Martha's face, it's like when you fancy someone and they don't even know you exist.
Yes, of all the things to say to her.
And then Captain Jack says something to the effect of, oh, you too? They're leaning a little too heavy into the romance thing, the unrequited love thing. Like, they were kind of just like, she realized it was there, and she accepted it, and it was what it was. And she still does accept it. She's not like all like forlorn puppy dog eyes, you know. She's still being mature about it. She's being emotionally mature about it. The heart wants what the heart wants, that whole thing. So I get it. I just liked it better when it was more subdued, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I like when we're on there, and Saxon is talking to the president. He's like, should I get you some tea? Or is that not American enough for you? Should I get you some grits? What are grits? Grits are disgusting.
What exactly are grits?
Like a mushy...
So basically it's mush.
Yes. I like that the president... And tell me you could not hear our former president saying this word for word. The president says, I will accept master over you if that's your will. I'm like, oh my God. Saxon had to have loved hearing that line. Like, you stupid American. You stupid human American man. Ugh. Everything else in my notes are from my patrons over on Patreon. This went from 0 to 100 real fast, and now we're just down the expressway.
How much more is left?
We have one more episode of this season. Episode 13. And then I believe there's a Christmas one after that, which is the bridge episode between 3 and 4. So yeah, one more for this season, where we find out how the doctor wins.
Well, yes, we pretty much know that he is, but how is he? Well, considering how many seasons there are, well, of course, he somehow
exactly
is going to solve this. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been those future seasons.
Exactly. So we'll see if any of my theories come to fruition. One of them did in this one, where I said the doctor locked onto the coordinates of the TARDIS before it left when he popped it open. I theorized that in the last one, so I had that right. Find out how this all ends. I am melting. So, is there anything else you'd like to add about this episode?
No, let's cool off.
Yeah, we need to go turn the AC back on.
I'm not sure what the temperature is, but whatever it is, it's too high.
1 million degrees American. We'll see about maybe trying to finish this season tonight.
Oh, I hope so.
We'll see. But it is almost lunchtime for us. So with that, I'm going to say that's the end of this one. As always, I don't have a fancy outro, so I'll simply say thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one, the final episode of Season 3. How does the Doctor win? I hope Saxon doesn't lose completely and he comes back later because I like him as a villain. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.